just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Here we go. Hustle.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11. And it was Washington winning on the road, so they're looking to finish off the sweep here. Pass to Henry is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Brad, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Christian McCaffrey. His 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Cowboys take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
18 Cardinal.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Flynn, the hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Flynn. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Lance. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 13 yards there at a Washington 1st.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Okay, break.
They're going to try and throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. The 30. 10. 5. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a one-score game.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a play fake. Lance, he'll buy some time right. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Ready.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab it. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their legs. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
I don't don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time I remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. A beautiful fake. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield or man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there. And his kick is good. And they have regained the lead. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun. Flynn. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Here we go. Ready.
To throw on 2nd down. Flynn. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming out. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion with a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those Nicholas packages, don't they?
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Throwing on 1st down is Lance. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. On second down, McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And now third and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. Then everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On play action, Lance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chase Young has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, and talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Back to throw. Flynn steps away to his left. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to have it here at their own 15.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced him to stay. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Down to the 22-yard line.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency, because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
We'll get this up to about the 44. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now Lance. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Working from the gun, Lance. That is caught by Lamb.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might well go ahead and run it in.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Trey Lance, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Cowboys have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Looking to throw on second down. Flynn. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
From the gun on third down. Flynn. And that will be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But the last one, man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. They'll try and throw for it here. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another run, this time McCaffrey. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is indeed good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Looking to throw. Flynn. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They'll look to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Cowboys are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, you've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And this offense on third down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was a good play, an incompletion that feels like a disappointment. The ball was tipped in the air, a chance for an interception, and you can just feel the home crowd coming together thinking, this is the big play we've been looking for. And when it falls to the ground, a little bit of disappointment, even though it was a good play.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Buda Baker with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. This has just really been a solid second half from them, CD, as they add another touchdown to the lead and they start to pull away in what was once a close ball game. Yeah, they actually put the Jets on in this one, didn't they? Put a little cherry on top with that touchdown. Now we just got to play out this final minute, and they'll get a chance to celebrate a very hard-earned victory. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have it here at their own 15.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Got it.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I had no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Dallas, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Washington, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to